but it's larger than just a singular person. And with the Avs, I'm curious just where our listeners are at. We're going to circle back to that conversation at the top of the hour and get into some of our RamosLaw.com texts. But in the meantime, Pro Bowl voting is open. All right. What Denver Broncos have the best Pro Bowl cases? You, once upon a time, went to the Pro Bowl. Does that feel like what is it now?
5 or 6 years ago.
Yes, 6.
Is it 6 years?
Yes, 6, close to 7 here.
It feels great, Zach, to be able to call yourself a Pro Bowler. And I got to do it my rookie year. I wasn't supposed to make the team, all right? And then when I got on the team, I was just supposed to do special teams. And then I found my way starting games, running out of that tunnel. There's no better feeling than running out of that tunnel, by the way. Everybody screaming, you get to hear your name. They have the spray can that looks like mist.
Yeah.
You're just running through. It's a great feeling. And then you get the call that you're going to be a Pro Bowler when you weren't even supposed to be in the NFL. It's a pretty surreal moment that I'll always cherish for the rest of my life, and nobody can ever take that away from me.
Definitely not.
Or my family. And so, yeah, it's an honor.
Does it feel like 7 years ago, or does it feel like 10 seconds ago?
It feels like 10 seconds ago. It's wild that it's been 6 or 7 years, Zach, truly. And it's only going to get further and further away from you.
Yeah.
But it was a great moment, great opportunity. And I hope that some of these players that we're going to talk about truly do get to feel that same moment, especially if they haven't felt it yet. Just being a Pro Bowler, not necessarily playing in the games. All that stuff now is just, it's wacky, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just about the respect. It's about the respect from the NFL. It's about the respect from your peers and your teammates that they felt that to vote you. And the fans being able to vote for you as well and saying, hey, you deserve to be in there. It feels good.
What, real quick, and then I want to get into some of these Broncos. What was more rewarding? I've never asked you this before. What was more personally rewarding? Being named a Pro Bowler or being voted top 100 by the players in the league?
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like they go hand in hand, man. I guess I could say being a Pro Bowler because it holds more weight. But for the players around the league to vote you in for top 100 your rookie year, and I used to talk a lot of stuff now. You know, I was at 180 pounds and talked like I was 270.
Yeah.
But just the respect that the players I played against had for me, it means a lot. It means a lot. But the Pro Bowl is just the tag. The tag right now means more than that.
Yeah, and you get to have that tag forever. That tag is longer lasting.
Yeah.
It feels like a former Pro Bowler. You wouldn't introduce someone like former top 100 vote getter necessarily.
No,
not that you couldn't, but it's former Pro Bowler.
Or All-Pro. You're always going to have
sure.
something like that tag to you.
Yep. What Denver Broncos do you think have real Pro Bowl cases here?
Man, you know what? When you're winning, it seems like everybody. But then you have to, like I said before, take the orange glasses off.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I had to for a second when I was at the table because I started to just list everybody.
Yep.
There's 2 players right now that I feel like are definitely going to get into the Pro Bowl.
Okay. One of them's got to be Pat Surtain.
You know it.
Okay.
You know this, man.
And then the other, let's go with, because I think there's 2.
So you think that there's 2 others?
2 others, I do. You were going with Nick Bonito?
I was.
Okay.
Come on, he's second in sacks with four games left. Has an interception, took to the house, 71-yard touchdown. I mean, he's doing some great things. There's no way that they can leave my man Nick Bonito out of the Pro Bowl this year. He's just doing too much, and stats do matter. You know, stats do matter when it comes to something like Pro Bowl or All-Pro.
Yeah. The guy that I think is a Pro Bowler that is not named Pat Surtain or Nick Bonito is Zach Allen.
You know, I went back and forth with this. It's hard, and maybe we should get somebody on, and maybe I can ask one of the defensive tackles or just call him and see how does that work for a defensive tackle? Like, how does a defensive tackle become a Pro Bowler? Because a defensive tackle is not going to get a lot of sacks unless you're Chris Jones.
Sure.
Usually they're doing the dirty work.
Sure.
They're holding up. They're the anchor. They're stopping the run. So I'm interested in knowing how do they find out who is a Pro Bowler? Because I do agree with you. Zach Allen is the heartbeat of the defense. Truly, guys. Everything runs through that man because he's the anchor. Now, everybody else gets the stats, the highlights, gets to do the dances. But Zach Allen, if you don't have Zach Allen in there, which the Denver Broncos did not have in there against the Raiders, and the Raiders were able to move the ball a little bit more than they were when Zach Allen is in the mix.
Yeah. Well, Zach Allen has 5 sacks. That's more than a little bit for a D tackle. Like, that's, you know who else has 5 sacks? Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Playing the same position.
The animal.
And, you know, no one at that position has more than 7. Those are just, like you said, unless you're Jones in one of his best years or Aaron Donald, you're not going to, and it happens once in a while. I remember Jordan Phillips a handful of years ago for Buffalo had 10 sacks from the middle, but it's rare. It's rare.
And then it becomes a popularity contest.
Sure.
For people like that are older. Because there was a time, and let's be real, Vaughn got in one year. And Vaughn probably shouldn't have.
Definitely not.
But it's like, hey, you've been in here so long. You're Von Miller. You're a Super Bowl winner. You are the NFL pretty much. Like, how can we not put you in?
Right.
At least for 1 year. It's like, hey, this is your 1 year get out of jail free card.
Yeah, like a mulligan. Yes.
You know,
yes,
and so that's what you have to watch
yes.
sometimes with the Pro Bowl and even with the All Pro, because you start to get in good with these media members. They can help you out.
Well, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. And,
come on now, Sean. Sean's going to have to work his magic.
And with the Pro Bowl voting, like Phil. So I went through the exercise. All right, NFL.com. It's a fun little exercise, voting or whatever. And you get to see all these other guys side by side and their profile and their stats like side by side. But so I voted. It says, thanks for your vote. Click here to vote again. I'm like, wait, what? Click here to vote. I can just it says you can cast as many votes as you want. And I'm sure there's an election joke somewhere in there that I'm not going to swing at. But
I don't really want to say it, but I'm going to say it, right? Like, there's a hierarchy when you're voting. You have the coaches, the players, the fans. So as much as the fans are voting, it doesn't hold as much weight as when the coach does it. And then it doesn't hold as much weight as a player.
So, like, the coaches are like 50% of it, the players are 25% of it, and then the fans are like the last 25% of it.
And the fans are even lower than that, Zach. I'm just going to be real, guys. It's more like the fans are 10%.
No other Pro Bowl guys on the Broncos right now?
Maybe, just maybe. I want to say Cortland Sutton, but he still has a long way to go.
He's got time. He's got to keep playing well.
He has to keep playing well, the touchdowns, the yards. Garrett Bowles might find his way in there. That's another one where I have to figure out how do they let the left tackles in, the linemen in. But Garrett Bowles is having a great year, and he's one that it's a sneaky year, but he can find his way into the Pro Bowl just because of that. He's been around the league. They know him. So, Garrett Bowles might be another one.
All right, if we're missing someone, hit us up, RamosLaw.com, text line 303-713-1043. What situation feels more stale between the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche? And is a new voice for either even in consideration? We'll have that tough conversation next.
As they